What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Daily Sesh. I'm Rick James, and this is Glass Vegas 2019. We were here last year at 2018, and we're coming back to show you what's the new and latest and greatest and what's exciting and what's been going on in the glass industry. So let's take a look. So when you first walk into Glass Vegas from this entrance, you're welcomed by a huge ballroom of tables. I mean, seriously, it's overwhelming from the amount of artists to even the amount of buyers that come in. There's easily got to be thousands of people coming here daily. So 3-day event, it's going to be a cash and carry as well as wholesale orders, but it's not open to the public. So this is going to be for your glass shops only and business to business. Here's a great example of just the variety that you're able to see at Glass Vegas. We have all the way from the little guys to the big guys, from the production pieces and everything in between. Over here we have Hydro's Glass. They're based out of Arizona. And if you look over here to the right, you have Captain Crunk. We have Crunk's pieces, which is one of the most OG, headiest guys in the game, in my opinion. These things are ridiculous. And the cool thing about it is you can buy both of them all at the same time here at Glass Vegas. You want heady, you want proto, you just bring some cash, and they've got the glass. So for most of the Expo, everyone's got like their own booth set up. But behind us is just our tables laid out. And these could be like your upcoming artists or just the new people here to Glass Vegas kind of giving it a test and seeing what it's about. But over here, there was some super heat. You know, we're on day 3 and there's already a lot of stuff sold out on these little tables. It's pretty impressive. Let's see if we can actually talk to some of these guys, get some feedback, and find out what it's like here at Glass Vegas.
My name is Sheba. I'm from Arizona. I'm one of the mini glass blowers out of Arizona. We got a lot of talent out there. Just out here at Glass Vegas showing off some of my work, some of the sauce wasps I've been doing, some of the turf wasps, some of the shub blocks.
Tell me a little bit about your style. What are these guys?
You know, it's my rendition of a wasp. I don't really like wasps that much or insects that fly, so it's just kind of like one of those things, like why not create it and kind of get a little more close to it. The head on it is an original design of mine. I like to try to keep my art as original as possible. Other than that, like I just try to incorporate something that I've come up with other things and meld it together.
And you've been doing some crazy work lately. I've noticed like your colors have been changing and you've been changing up like just the style just a little bit, but it's still you.
Right.
What are you looking forward to in 2019?
I mean, we got a lot of competitions coming up. I'd like to compete for glass blowing, you know, bragging rights mainly is what it is, but it's a lot of fun. The community is really good. We got a lot of people that just like to, you know, do the best that they can in a time period and see what we all come up with.
That's what's up. And where can we find you at?
Shubba on Instagram. That's like the best way to see my work, best way to get a hold of me.
You guys are Subliminal Glass?
Yes, sir.
And I've been really excited to take a look at these. These are the weapons of peace?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, these are a collaboration with Robert Mickelson, and he specifically does a Weapons of Peace series. As kind of part of it is that they're not supposed to be weapons of destruction by any means. We actually have all of our mouthpieces on the back. But anyways, these are the Elemental series, modeled after the MP5. We have your fire, water, air, and earth guns. Yeah, so we flew down to Florida and worked with the Robert Mickelson crew. So there's 8 men total, 4 of us, and then 4 of the Robert Mickelson crew, and about 900 hours went into all 4 of the guns there. So they're also multifunctional. Like I said, the mouthpiece is going to be on the back, but if you look right above them as well, there's going to be a second hole, and after you take your hit, you blow it into that tube, and it runs along the length of the barrel, and once you exhale through it, it'll blow the smoke out of the barrel of the gun. And that is on each 4 of all of the guns as well.
And this is impressive.
Thank you, Ben. There are a couple other things that we did with them as well. Both of these suppressors actually have threads in them, so you can screw them all the way on and off, just like actual suppressors. The stocks on these 2 guns are also removable as well. But yeah, we had a lot of fun with these guys. Robert Mickelson and his crew are really, really great people. We had a lot of fun working with them. We were probably up until 5 o'clock in the morning on almost every night, and they were working hard with us all the way up until we finally dropped and crashed. But yeah, it was a pretty great series. Dan Bilzerian was the one who picked them up.
So Dan picked up, and he picked up all 4 of them, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Last year when I came, it was mostly artists, and you know, they have a great setup and layout. They open up their tables, set up the booths, but if you look behind me, this is definitely where the future is coming. You know, we have professional setups, the businesses are coming in, the big money's about to be spent. You know, things are looking up for the glass industry. It's really exciting here. How's it going?
Very well.
And who are you?
I'm Tammy Baller, or Tammy fucking Baller if you wish.
You've been around for quite a while. How long have you been blowing glass for?
Since 2000.
So 19 years
I'm like, what
almost?
year is it? Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Tell
19
me
years.
about some of your work. What is it? It's just a lot of sculptures and amazing...
I make some really crazy weird shit. I kind of just make whatever the fuck I want, and I don't know, I've been making some dominatrix bitches and some bondage gear with some movable handcuffs, and I make a lot of Jerry Garcia and some just weird shit in general, crazy chains. And
What would you say, like, is your specialty?
I can make anything, so it's like whatever the fuck you want.
There you go. Where are you out of?
I'm out of upstate New York, in the Adirondacks. It's beautiful.
And if somebody wanted to reach out to you, where can we find you at?
Hit me up on Instagram at Tammy Baller.
I'm Devin with Pandemic Glass.
And where are you guys out of?
Originally in New York, but at this point I'm a traveling artist.
A traveling artist.
Yes.
How does that work out for you?
Every 3 months, me and my fiance change cities, states, and work with people across the country.
That's awesome. How long have you been blowing glass for?
Going on 7 years.
And what is your specialty?
Lately it has been fuming and wigwags.
And is this all of your work?
This is a lot of my work.
Tell me about this piece right here.
This was a collab with Mr. E out of upstate New York. He does the dabby bots, and at that time I was doing a lot of coral sculpture. And we thought it would be a fun project to deck one of his bots out in a sea life.
Where can we find you guys at?
I'm on Instagram at Pandemic Glass.
And we can just send you the DMs for anything available?
Absolutely.
So this is the Roar booth here at Glass Vegas, and it's just a great example of what you're going to see more in the future, in my opinion. You know, professional, clean style, nicely laid out booth. This one in particular, it is going to be cash and carry for the last day, but it's also mostly just for wholesale orders. But as you remember, Roar just used to be all about beaker bongs, and they're changing the game. I mean, check this out. This is a bong and a dab rig all in one. Extremely impressive. They were telling us it actually carries the same volume of smoke as their normal tubes. They just increased it a little bit to add that dab rig as well. So you got the hit right here, or you can take a hit right here as a dab. 2 in 1 piece. I mean, if this is what they got this year, I'm looking forward to what's coming next. This is sick. We are walking into Ryan Turf's booth, and you've got an awesome setup. What do you got going on over here?
Thank you. We focus on honeycomb glass here. And basically, we've got all of our honeycomb products, a lot of pendants, a lot of jewelry, a few functionals, and everything comes in our custom boxes that we make in-house. So, yeah, we have a little spiffy booth. We come all out for Las Vegas. It's a good show.
Why the honeycombs?
Oh, the honeycomb. Well, the honeycomb is like it's more of a product of years of working with Marini canes and making different imagery cane. I attribute a lot to the fact that my dad is a math teacher, and it's a mathematical problem to solve, the honeycomb. And so with I take that approach to it. I've been able to take it to a different level, I believe. You know, upgrade the product itself, the honeycomb milling.
That's cool. So honeycombs, I mean, is it just like a different technique? Is it harder to make, or?
I mean, we all have our techniques. Everybody's techniques are different, and I've specialized in it. A lot of people, it's part of their repertoire. You know, I've specialized in it, and I've taken it to a level where I work the honeycomb in a hollow format, where a lot of people, they just treat it as a marble or a millie, and I've taken it to actually a hollow form. And then you know, we do our spheres, where we take raw cane and we actually create, you know, these honeycomb marbles out of them.
So you take it to the next level.
We're trying, you know, we're trying. And it's something I got obsessed with, honestly. Like, it was just, you know, my 23rd year on the torch, and around year 17, I woke up one morning with this idea on how to perfect the honeycomb, and well, you know, 5 years later, I'm still mildly obsessed with it. And there's so much that can be done with it that I feel like I'm still scratching the surface, you know.
Thanks, Ryan. Where can they find your work? Where can they reach you at?
I have a website, ryanturfs.com, and you can also get me on Instagram at just Turfs. That's TURFS.
How's it going?
Good, how you doing?
Doing great. I was walking by and I saw these. Are these hammers? Sherlocks? What are these?
So down front here I have my ceremonial pipes inspired by Native American work. I have some Native American heritage, but I was raised in white culture, and as I started to reconnect to my roots, I found so much inspiration and connection to the incredible amount of support that the natural world and our ancestors offer us all the time, and I wanted to make work that reminds people of the support that's available to all of us.
Who are you?
I'm Fiona Phoenix Fire.
And where are you out of?
Ashland, Oregon.
How long have you been blowing glass for?
6 years.
6 years. And this is what we're doing this year?
Yeah.
How long have you been blowing native inspiration work?
This is the very first design I ever started making. It was something that it was immediately the passion project, and they started selling immediately and have not stopped. It's still one of my best selling pieces.
And where can we find your work at?
On my Instagram is the best place to check out what I've got, at Fiona Phoenix Fire. And of course there's a lot of great shops here at Las Vegas that have ordered work, so it's going to be in shops all around the country.
Here's another thing with the Expo that they've got going on. It's a silent auction. We've got over 170 glass blowers participating in this. 100% of the proceeds are going to go to the Injured Artist Fund, which is there to help out artists that are in hardship and in need. It's essentially just like any other silent auction. You walk around, find the piece that you like, put your name, put your number, and you cross your fingers and hope you win. But the amount of work and the amount of compassion that you can just see behind this project is extremely impressive, just to know that people are helping other people in the glass community. Here's an example of one of the production pieces. You know, we were talking about the high end, but we can also get, you know, some of the more affordable ones here at Las Vegas. So today we've got Ken with Chameleon Glass. How's it going?
Greetings, good. How you guys doing?
We're doing great. You are actually where we're from. We're based out of Phoenix.
You got it.
How long's Chameleon been open for?
1991, kind of OG and stuff.
Give us a walkthrough, show us what your booth's all about and what
Sure.
you do here at Chameleon.
Right on. Well, I'll tell you what, the motto of the company is we make stuff that's accessible to everybody. So your daily driver is what I strive for. Some of those daily drivers are inexpensive. You know, you're going to see these retailing anywhere between $15 and $20. I take pride in trying to figure out things that make people happy and that they identify personally with. And then what I'll do is I'll put that onto a, you know, something like the California pipe. That's going to be in a store for no more than $19.99. Gives you a made in USA product for under $20 retail. And then you can build from there because a lot of people have been buying my glass for 25 years.
So what's your favorite piece that you got right now?
For me personally, favorite new piece. I'm going to go with, you know, I just love the way this one turned out. And I'm such a Calvin and Hobbes fan that I just love the way Calvin has turned out.
That's the one for Ken.
That's the one for me. These two right here, these are on my table in my office, and when people come and visit me and we're being social, I smoke out of Calvin and Hobbes, and those are my new favorites.
That's what's up. And if people want to find your glass, where can they find it at?
Well, hopefully you're going to find it at a local retailer because it's important for you to go to a store, put your hands on the piece, look at it, and make sure you love it as much as what it looks like on the website. If you don't have a retailer that has what you're looking for from me, then you go to my website, www.chameleonglass.com, and pick out what you want. We'll ship it direct to your door.
I'm Colt Glass. I'm from Green Bay, Wisconsin.
And how long have you been blowing glass for?
5 years now.
5
Going on
years.
6.
Tell us a little bit about your pieces. What is this thing?
This here's a tree that me and Florin Glass did. He did the owls, and I did the tree and the construction.
This is sick. How long did that take?
This was a full day work.
Nice. And these are these functional?
Yeah, these are two of my functional swords. This one here stands like this.
That's crazy. How long have you been making the swords for?
I actually just started making those probably 6 months ago.
Okay.
So, yeah, not too long ago. This one. This is my newest one I've done actually. Decided to put a little more work into it.
Do you call them anything? Do they have names or?
Not yet. Honestly, I wish I had a name for them. They're so new. I'm still working on that.
So you started these 6 months ago?
Yeah, working on these.
For 2019, what are you looking forward to? Do you have any goals or aspirations?
Making these into water pieces and rigs.
Okay.
Also, I want to explore more of the like the firearms and stuff like that.
Okay.
Everybody else is kind of inspiring me to do that as well because I'm seeing so many cool ones. So
there you go. So right now these are dry pieces, but hopefully sometime in the year they're gonna turn into water pieces. That's what's up. Where can we find you at?
My Instagram's Colt Glass Studio. That's pretty much where you can find all my work.
So here's something for you guys. I don't know what really to say about it. It's just kind of, it is what it is, and it's part of the up and coming future and scene. And you know, we got Puffco here. How's it going?
Good, thanks.
And you are Dave Strobel?
Dave Strobel.
Strobel, Dave Strobel. And can you tell me a little bit about your work?
I'm mostly known for Murini work, the small pictures that you see in a lot of my work, whether it be fish and flowers, Day of the Dead themed, various cartoon characters. Murini is something I've been making for close to 20 years, and I just incorporate that into my various functional pieces.
For those who don't know, what is Murini pieces?
This is a good example. I mean, something that's a large polished slice. When I make a piece, it'll have basically a picture inside the glass, and that's done over the course of, well, in this case, about a week. It's thousands of small bits of glass. I'll start with a single stick of glass, and by laying stripes on, I build an image up over the course of a week. And I'll heat that whole thing up and stretch it out. And then that ends up being used either as large slices, or even in this case, smaller chips that you see.
And that's crazy. And so this over here is a ton of, they're millies, basically. Yeah, so this is a ton of millies been pieced together type thing?
Yeah, I use various techniques on how I incorporate it into the glass. Sometimes they're done rolled up, sometimes I add them individually, sometimes they're blown out. It really just depends on what it is that I'm making. But it's a common theme throughout anything I make is the incorporation of Marini.
And it's almost hard to grasp or put into concept. Could you tell me about how much time was put into a rig like this?
Well, each one of the fish takes about a day to make, but then I'll have enough for, maybe about 2 months worth of work. So when I go through and I've got to make a bunch of different fish, I'll spend about a month making all of my different fish, and then I'll have 2 months worth of stock to be able to make something. The actual forming of something, like to incorporate everything into the piece, will take me 2 to 3 days.
And the millies, how many are on this rig right here?
I honestly have no idea.
A lot.
Yeah, they tend to be in the neighborhood of around 100.
And that per rig, per piece. Where could we find your work at or reach out to you at?
My biggest presence is on Instagram. That's Strobel Glass.
That's great. Well, thanks for that. And going forward, 2019, do you have any goals or aspirations or things you're looking forward to?
I do. I've got some very big projects in the work right now that are going to blow away a lot of people, but I'm still going to keep it on the down low for right now.
So come later in the year, check you out, see what you got going on.
I'll be posting progress throughout the year.
I'm Ham. I'm out of Eugene, Oregon. I will have been blowing glass 21 years this March. This is my outside in bong. This is a piece I first started making about 15 years ago. It was a big hit then. I made it for 2 or 3 years and then abandoned it for 13 or 15 years now. I recently resurrected it from the files, and it has been wildly popular. I can't seem to make enough of these. This particular one has the double layer sandblast imagery work. This is done by Ariel Schultz. This is the shortest of the outside in bongs I've ever made, and this will continue to be the shortest, as I paid quite a high price for the short length of this thing, and I don't intend to pay this price on the rest. Here is the outside in bong.
We hope everybody's having a fantastic time. If anyone has seen the
So behind us is the World Series of Glass. Like I said, not only is it a glass blowing expo and show to buy and sell glass, but we have a lot of different side things going on to just give that extra experience and feel, and this is one of them. We have a lot of the top artists coming together to put in for this competition to find who is potentially the world's best glass blower. There's so much going on, it's hard for me to explain, so let's get one of the staff to tell us and see what it's all about. Let's check it out. What's up, man? Rick.
Brian.
Nice to meet you. So tell us, what is this area? What do we got going on here?
All right, we got the World Series of Glass over here. This is where we get the top artists from all over the United States to compete with each other in 4 different categories. We've got the solo pieces, which are all in these cases here to my left. We've got the collab pieces, which are all in the cases over there. We've got the Millie case, and then we've also got the shot glass competition. And they're all individual. They have first, second, third, and a People's Choice this year, where people can go online to Glass Vegas on our website and vote for their piece. But then we have the professional judges come in and they choose, first, second, and third.
Who are the judges and how did they get to be a judge?
This year we wanted to get somebody that was a little more impartial, but we still wanted to have an artist's opinion. So we got one of the ladies from the Flow judges, and then we had Salt come in, and he was one of the judges as well.
Salt was a judge for this.
Salt was, yeah, we wanted the opinion of one of the highly thought of artists.
Here we have another one of the greats, Hick Dog. How's it going?
I'm doing really good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Wanted to kind of get from you yourself, what is this piece we got going on, and just talk to us about it.
All right, well, first of all, I'm really super excited to be here with this piece and get to show this. I worked with a friend out of Scottsdale that does laser wood cutting, and he helped me fulfill my vision for this piece. Now, it started as this anatomical heart that I made. The heart itself is a recycler, and I just, one day I was out trying to figure out what I was going to make, not really feeling it, and not really in the best of moods, if you will, for various reasons, and kept trying to ask myself, like, what are you going to make? What are you going to do right now with this time? And then it dawned on, I was thinking of all the normal things I was supposed to do, or repairs, or things I was supposed to be getting to, and just finally decided to go with my heart, and I started to make a heart to express some things. So, and then I reached out to my friend and asked him to make this cage for me. It's called My Caged Heart, and it has to do with some personal things that I'm not going to get into too much detail about. But what my vision for the cage was that it would be represent a lot of heart chakra iconography. And so my laser woodcutter, his name is Jesse, he goes by Dupo Lux. He worked with me repeatedly on a few different designs until we really nailed down what I was looking to get out of that, and he far surpassed my vision for it. So, all of the windows around here are all different forms of the heart chakra symbols, various incarnations of them, if you will. And for me, this was just a process of trying to do some self-healing in that area of my life and my body. So I really love the way that he made it like a cage. There's apparently no way to open the cage. It looks like there's no hinge or door, but it's really nice that there is, or if you know what you're doing, there's a way to open the cage to that. So.
And this is your solo entry?
It is my solo entry. Now the display is judged as part of presentation, but of course the judges will be judging all of this mostly on the glass itself. But yeah, this is one of two solo entries that I have here this year.
For those who don't know, where can we reach out to you? How can we find your work?
The easiest place is Instagram. That's where I post most of my stuff. My spelling is H-I-C-D-O-G-G. So if you type in Hick Dog or Google Hick Dog and spell it H-I-C-D-O-G-G, you'll find me. As far as I know, there's only one in the world. And I communicate through Instagram mostly, and I try really hard to follow up with every single message from anyone, even if it's just somebody saying, hey, I love your work. So get at me.
That's awesome. Very humble Hick Dog. It's nice talking to you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So here he is. This is the man, the myth, the legend. How's it going?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. And you officially are Salt Glass.
It's official.
I mean, it's hard to put a face behind it, but now here it is.
This is me. This is my face.
So tell me a little bit about yourself, and for the people who don't know who you are, where are you from?
I'm from Austin, Texas, and I've been making things out of glass since 2001, and I've been going by Salt since like the middle of 2007.
Where does that name come from?
I picked it, and it came from my desire to kind of be a certain kind of artist and add some flavor to the game, but also remind myself of what kind of person I want it to be too. So just take things with a grain of salt, salt of the earth. It was an effort to not just choose what I was going to do, but how I was going to do it, I guess, so.
When you hear Salt Glass, I mean, you associate it with, in my opinion, one of the best glass blowers out there. That's what everyone says.
Thanks.
Where does your inspiration come from? Normally you are the inspiration, but for you, where do you get your inspiration from?
I'm inspired by all forms of life in like a physical aspect. I draw from plants and animals animals and you know, made up things, and I kind of like to mix them together. But I like the idea of taking frustration or pain or confusion and processing it through the work and creating objects that can have like a positive impact, like on me. Like there's a catharsis to that, but also like the pipe itself can be like this tool for a shift of consciousness and also a tool that kind of brings people together.
So for you, glass blowing is on a whole other level. It's just another experience for yourself in a way.
It started as like a way to make a living and be creative and kind of find some identity, and it became like a brand and a way for me to meet and make some of the strongest connections in my life. And now it's, you know, the bigger picture is that Salt and the glass community is like the lens through which I kind of view the world and like how I decide how to navigate, you know, like how like it helps me figure out like what kind of person I want to be, you know, and then make that happen.
Could you tell me about one of your pieces here today? Is this a solo piece or?
No, this is a collaboration with Rye. Okay. So this is a pendant that comes out of the mouthpiece, so you can wear it. The mouthpiece is here. And so this is a complete flame-worked finished object that then Rye took and spent days carving every surface, and then we put back in the kiln, heated up, and fire polished to various degrees. Like how, you know, some of it is almost completely matte finish, some of it's almost completely gloss, and there's like everything in between in order to kind of accentuate the levels of detail, because there's quite a bit of texture that is carving into the already existing contour that I created, so it's like levels of detail, and this one again is like meant to be experienced by touch as much as sight. You know, there's a lot of like kind of hidden imagery in the carving too that's meant to be like, over time the owner of this piece is going to discover a lot of little patches and maybe even some, you know, some hidden graphics, if you will, in here. So so it's a very satisfying object for me.
And why so many collabs? You seem to work with everybody.
Well, collaboration is one of the things that's unique to our community, but I also find that I bond with someone on a different level when we are making work together, because you're really like inside, you have an intense interaction, a lot of time together, but you're like getting each other's heads too. And there's plenty of time, it's like, it can be very serious, but there's a lot of downtime to also joke and like just become closer. And so I've become almost like addicted to that, you know, that level of friendship. Plus, once you make an object out of glass with somebody, you're sort of bonded for life, you know, because of the durability of the material. So it's a very powerful tool for friendship making and enriching, and I like that. And, you know, when you work with someone else, inevitably they bring things out of you, and you share aesthetic and technique and ideology and music and, you know, common experience or whatever. So it's a very satisfying human experience.
Where can we find you at?
Well, I'm in Austin, Texas, and I have Instagram, Salt Glass on Instagram, and I have an auction page, Salt Glass POD, and you know, I get around. I'm all over the place.
There we go. That's what's up. So hit him up on Instagram, or look for him on Instagram to see his work, pieces of work.
Bye.
So that pretty much wraps up Glass Vegas of 2019. This is the last couple hours of it before they do the big award. There's still a lot of people around. A lot of hustling and bustling. And if you got the cash, they've got the glass. Until next time, guys. See you guys later.